Check. 1, 2. Greetings, everyone. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. All right. Well, let's get into it. There's a lot to cover. My God. These days, I don't even really attempt to cover all the things I have lined up. I just let me know. I want to make sure that you can hear me. Oh, thank you. Somebody already supported me on Ko-Fi. Word. Thank you. I'll find out who it is, and we'll give him a shout. Rick, thanks, man. Starting off the show with a little do re mi. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I can't even begin to cover all the things I want to talk about, so I just kind of plow in. I just kind of dive in and try to hope that follow some kind of thread, but who knows? There is a lot going on in the world of advancing AI, blockchain, CBDCs, things of that nature. And all these things should be concerning to people. I think they're, in a lot of ways, they're trying to be couched as like something that's going to be great for people's pockets, good for the economy, et cetera, et cetera. As far as the crypto thing goes, I mean, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. You either are into crypto or you're not. Generally, I know I'm generalizing, and I should not do that. I should never do that. I am actually one of those people I'm into crypto, but I am with a very, very skeptical, jaundiced eye towards it. So, like, I see it as an investment opportunity in the short term, but probably in the long term, not something that is. Who knows? Who knows? People are saying Bitcoin to 1 million. Somebody the other day, I mean, some of the predictions are ridiculous. Some of the other day I heard was like Bitcoin to 42 million. Okay. All right, let's get carried right all the way away. Let's go all the way down the road. Maybe, I don't know, 42 million. So and the stuff is volatile, so you don't really know. But here's the thing that people should know, and the reason why I'm covering these things that I'm covering is that, all right, Victory Jen reposting the stream on X. Thank you, Victory Jen. The reason why I'm covering the things that I'm covering is so that people are aware that other things are happening. And I think the context is good. A big picture, a macro is good on what is going on if you're into stuff like crypto on a micro. It's the macro that you want to be paying attention to, which I'm trying to pay attention to, right? So some people say Bitcoin to 1 million, and who knows what they have in store, right? Like Trump has done, I don't know how many stock market signals this year, right? For all his buddies. He made a lot of money today. He's done a lot of stock market signals. He's done a lot of like tariffs are on, tariffs are off, tariffs are on, tariffs are off, right? Every single time one of those things happens, it totally impacts like which way it's going. The problem is that there's an overall, beyond the insider trading and the in the calls for the boys, beyond all that, there's a big picture going on, which is that there is some significant problems in the economy, and it doesn't really matter whether they're going to try and like jump Bitcoin into the Federal Reserve or whether. It doesn't really matter. Like if there is a big ass crash, it's a big ass crash. That means everything big ass crash, right? That means everything down. For the most part. And people will probably say, but gold and silver. Yeah, which is what gold and silver are definitely good things to have. But as far as everything else goes, and that includes crypto, everything down, and which is probably what they want. They want to, they want to do a last buy low, I guess, swing. I don't know if they're going to pull that one off. But they might. last crash and buy up all the assets. It doesn't really, who knows? It doesn't really matter. That's what they do. That's a game plan anyways. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get moving. So this, I'm just going to try and put all these things together, hopefully forming a picture. U.S. Treasury just bought back $4 billion of its own debt. What was I just saying? Read that again. Yes, read that again. The issuer of the world's reserve currency is now in the market buying back its IOUs. One of the largest treasury buybacks in history. Translation: the system is eating itself. Liquidity black hole, debt spiral, feedback loop, flat. Ouroboros. I don't know what that means. I'm going to have to look that up because it's a word I've never seen before. Ouroboros. Ouroboros is an ancient symbol depicting a snake or a dragon eating its own tail. Ha. Well, then that's fiat Ouroboros. When the printer has to buy the promises it already made, the game isn't strong economy. It's endgame mechanics. This isn't bullish or bearish. This is structural collapse disguised as policy. Bitcoin isn't an alternative. It's the exit door before the fire spreads. Oh, somebody gave the definition of Ouroboros down here. Thanks, man. Somebody says, you okay, friend? Treasury has been buying back their longer maturities by issuing shorter, more liquid maturities. No net change to outstanding debt. So there's some more context to this. Somebody else says they buy it back and reissue it at lower rates, so saving them money. So, I better pay me my money. Right. That's right. Creative says crypto will go down with NVIDIA and we'll just go back to using graphic cards for video games. I mean, maybe. What else is happening? Whitney Webb says, myself and Mark Goodwin, and they do, if you get a chance to catch like the Mark Goodwin, Whitney Webb podcasts, which they're mostly talking about CBDCs and Bitcoin, et cetera. They're pretty informative. And a few others tried to warn people in January 2024 that a lot of the policies hated by COVID-era dissidents were being repackaged and resold by the right instead of to the left to minimize resistance to them. But of course, they're just whatever. People are gullible. When their people are in charge, they're whatever they do, it's like, yeah, it's fine. And the other side is like, oh my God, do you see what they're doing? These people are crazy. Now, following the passage of the Genius Act, the push for digital ID returns. Digital ID. Because you got to have ID. AI will collapse first, then NVIDIA, then crypto? Okay. How do you see it? I'm interested, Creative. You got me. How does AI collapse? Tell me. Well, I actually, it's funny that you say that because I saw somebody saying that none of the AI companies are like, only a handful of the AI companies are making any money. That they're still all money losers. I don't know if that's, I just saw that in passing. Now, following the passage of the Genius Act, push for digital ID returns. The excuse has now shifted from the vaccine passports, right? Remember when everybody was like, vaccine passports? No way. To paving the way for dollar stablecoins, which we already have. Where is the resistance on this now? Too many of them will continue to call me black-pilled for not clapping like a seal while Trump's administration pushes surveillance, programmable money, and digital ID, stuff they were ostensibly against before the last election. Which is how they get you. They say the things that everybody wants to hear, and then they go, oh yeah, we can't do that. We can't possibly do that. How are we going to get it passed? It just doesn't have bipartisan support. You know, if it doesn't have bipartisan support, what are we gonna do? Maybe AOC will abstain, huh? Karen Hoa and Ed Zetro explain how AI collapses. They raise prices on AI services, and AI startups can't afford it. Okay. Did they already raise prices? I don't know, because I don't really use AI, so the thing is that I think that it is really, I think it's mainly a DARPA CIA project. You know, it has been, right? I mean, CIA basically carried Palantir for, you know, Palantir is basically the Amazon of AI. Well, all of them are. All of them are. They just get massive contracts and funding, even though they're not like turning a profit. So are they going to let them collapse? I don't know. I kind of don't see that, but maybe. I'm gonna. I'll try and find what you're talking about, unless you have a link or something, man. I would love to see what that's all about. Let me keep reading. If you think this administration cares about what the public thinks, leave a comment saying a big fat no to digital ID. Retweeting this, the Treasury is contemplating the implementation of digital identities in DeFi. Sure. I mean, they're trying to get people to identify themselves in other ways. So they already have a lot of what is it? KYC. Most sites force you to KYC. So they got, you know, they have your identity anyways. So this is kind of not really new. This would mean that all software developers building non-custodial services would be required to implement smart contracts that facilitate identity checks before executing a transaction. Well, I guess that's another level up. This would not just mean that developing open source non-custodial services would become prohibitively expensive, or that users could be excluded from non-custodial services for failing compliance checks. It would effectively turn a permissionless system into a permissioned one, in which the government gains the ability to watch, deny, or approve everything you do. Oh, and they're probably going to do that. KYC jelly, yeah. Zitron. Okay, thanks, man. I will find it. All right. Here's a fun fact. The Treasury is currently seeking comments on this plan and is legally required to consider all comments that it receives. More comments it receives, the longer such implementation would take. All right, so let's go comment, guys, if you care. If you care about your privacy, you know what to do. You know what to do. Link to issue comments in the article quoted. The deadline is October 17th. Here it is. Treasury seeks comments on digital ID. Okay, well then, I mean, it might not matter anyways, but You are the focus group, my friends. You are the focus group. And sometimes they respond when people are like, hail to the no. Sometimes they don't care. They do it anyways. But sometimes it forces them to to retreat and then take another tag. Sometimes. Kind of like COVID vaccine mandates. They really tried it. They really tried it. And people were like, hell no. It also helps that, they on some level understand that what they're doing is illegal. As far as this goes, it's like whatever you want to do. Okay. And sorry, I don't know why. Sorry about that, guys. I hit the wrong button, but I'm still here. Okay, let's keep going. So that's happening. We're trying to make people build smart contracts that force you to ID yourself. Y'all still here? Everybody still here? Everybody good? Let me know. Okay, so at the same time, so Wyoming issued their own, and this is a while ago. Wyoming issued their own stablecoin, setting a precedent. Wyoming's frontier stablecoin debuts on Ethereum, Solana, and Avalanche. Well, this is from a couple days ago, but I believe this happened a while ago. But this is from August 19th. Wyoming stablecoin debuted across several blockchains on Tuesday. Well, I guess it was just now. I think they passed the bill that that allowed them to do this. Wyoming stablecoin debuted across 7 blockchains on Tuesday, a new milestone for the Cowboy State as it officially enters the $285 billion sector. Issued in partnership with, and Trump has issued several coins himself, one of which is another stablecoin. Are y'all still here? You guys good? Okay. Issued in partnership with Layer 0, the Frontier stable token will operate, blah, 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 blah. All right, so the commission and Layer 0 describe Front as a constitutionally protected public asset, and that's not subject to arbitrary usage restrictions, unlike many alternatives. Like most stablecoins, Front will be backed by cash and U.S. treasuries. Instead of benefiting a business, interest generated by Front's reserves will be diverted to Wyoming School Foundation Fund on a quarterly basis, serving its citizens as a public good. All right, well, that certainly sounds nice. The token is unique because it's not regulated as Act. The framework for the stable coins that passed last month does not apply to Front because Wyoming is a sovereignty, not a business, they said. It means Front could eventually share a portion of the revenue its reserves generate with holders. That feature won't be enabled on Tuesday. It's still being ironed out. Okay, well, it sounds like it certainly could be a good thing But how stable is a stable coin? Only as stable as the reserves. I mean, it's backed by dollars generally, or treasuries. But if there's massive structural problems with those entities, then more on this kind of stuff. We're talking about a whole bunch of like economic and technological type things that are coming down the pike. Oh no, where is it? I saw this today. This caught my eye because I was like, what the heck? They're now issuing on the BNB on the Binance blockchain non-fungible agents. Non-fungible agents. What are non-fungible agents, you ask? Because I was like, what is that? What's an NFA? A non-fungible agent is an AI entity on the blockchain that you can own, and it gains value, supposedly, depending on what it can do or how much information it can gather and what kind of purposes it could be put to. It's kind of a wild idea because people are already have AI like agents, right? Like people have their own AIs that they talk to and they put information into, and et cetera, et cetera. So apparently you can own these on the blockchain on the Binance chain, and apparently they gain in value. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm just reporting on this because it's kind of wild. I'm going to read the light paper for just a second because it's kind of wild. That probably will tell you better than I can. Just the first part, non-fungible agents. The intelligence revolution is here and it's ownable. For the first time in history, artificial intelligence capabilities can be owned, traded, and valued as assets. Non-fungible agents represent the world's first standardized framework for tradable cognitive capabilities. Tradable cognitive capabilities, transforming AI from a service you rent. So I don't know. What about this, Creative? You think that's about to collapse soon too? I mean, is that better than renting an AI agent? I mean, if it's anything like NFTs, it'll be worthless pretty soon. NFTs went down the hole. I mean, crypto on the whole is really the entire crypto industry is only being excuse me, carried or supported by Bitcoin. There was hope a few years ago about DeFi projects, and I think that they're actually fairly genius ideas, these DeFi projects, and this is also a DeFi project, but and you can still stake coins and gain like income percentages on your staking, and which is cool. But it needs to have some, most of these things don't end up having any utility other than the utility of creating other things with the coins or with the contracts. So the utility part, they try to inject these things into like games. And they end up only having value as long as people are willing to like buy them or hold them or trade them, right? Which is like Bitcoin, right? It's like nothing different. So who knows? Maybe they're still trying to find some way to like create projects that have like serious utility in the world. I don't know if the NFAs or something like NFTs don't have any utility whatsoever. They had for a while people were releasing albums as NFTs or pieces of art as NFTs, which is fine. If they if they hold their value, if they're worth anything, if they mean anything to people. I think the fad of releasing music or art as NFTs, went away. So it's been over for a couple of years. I don't know. Maybe when they really like find a way to make it mean something. I don't know. Let's see. They sound creepy to you, Kate? Yeah. It is weird. I'll just read a little more. NFAs enable the creation of autonomous digital entities that combine the uniqueness of NFTs with the learning capabilities of AI and the composability of smart contracts. Unlike traditional AI services that disappear when you switch platforms, NFAs are portable, persistent, and increasingly valuable as they accumulate experience and capabilities. I mean, okay. The work emerged from a profound realization about intelligence and value creation in the digital age. So they're trying to create not AI as a service, not AI as software, but AI as cognitive capital. Then they go on to talk about the NASDAQ for consciousness and the NASDAQ for thoughts. Okay. I mean, it's fairly frightening. 3 mind-bending implications. Cognitive arbitrage. Smart traders will spot gaps where valuable thinking patterns are underpriced and buy them before the market realizes their worth. Intelligence inequality. The wealth gap of the future won't be based on who owns capital, but who owns the most valuable cognitive assets. That's creepy. Post-scarcity thinking. When cognitive capabilities become liquid, the cost of smart solutions approaches zero, but the premium for breakthrough thinking becomes infinite. Okay. So I mean, maybe they're talking about exactly what you're talking about. Creative. The AI value is trapped in silos. The $1.5 trillion opportunity that can't be owned. Okay. Well, I don't know that I necessarily am totally into this, but I just presenting it because I think it's interesting. If not creepy with a K. Let's keep going. Massive report exposes that Trump purchased $100 million in bonds tied to companies directly impacted by his policies. Whoa. This smells like insider trading. It's not smelling. It is. And is impeachable. Overall, Trump has made... Did you guys hear this one? Trump has made $3.4 billion in the last 8 months. And how is that acceptable? Why is that acceptable? That should not be acceptable. He shouldn't have any stake in any companies. He should not have any financial opportunities. But it's a new world. And it is a banana republic.
Since January, the president's bought more than $100 million worth of corporate and municipal bonds. That is according to filings from the Office of Government Ethics. This kind of active trading by a president is unprecedented. It means Donald Trump stands to benefit or suffer losses, depending on how these bonds perform. But these bonds include banks, and they include companies, and they include local governments that are literally directly impacted by the decisions that Donald Trump is making in the White House. Tim, is this classic Donald Trump? You are extremely familiar with how this gentleman works as a businessman.
It is. Well, it's it's not even Donald Trump working as a businessman. It's Donald Trump working as an insider trader.
Very smart.
It's Donald Trump in a position to influence the interest rates that determine the value of the bonds he's buying. It's that simple. The other thing is, it is a drop in the bucket. The $100 million in bonds he bought is a drop in the bucket in terms of the grift that's going on in the White House around cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
His net worth, I think, jumped by more than $2.5 billion based on paper, but it's on cryptocurrency assets he holds at a time when his family had absolutely no experience in the business before he became president. It's a product that he disparaged as a scam before he became president.
Okay, and also, in random news, supposedly, this is from Ford Fisher, Trump is going to personally patrol Washington, D.C. with the police tonight. Oh, my God. He says, hide your wife, hide your kids. He'll be looking for underage girls. Oh, my God. Oh, freaking Washington Post. I'm not doing that. Somebody said get an interview with him. Is this really going to happen? It's so ridiculous. TZ is so dangerous. Anyways, random and lame. Okay. More AI crap, economic hedge fund, private equity bullshit news. Get ready for your electric bills to skyrocket. Both BlackRock and Blackstone have begun purchasing American electric utilities companies. Private equity firms BlackRock and Blackstone are both in the process of acquiring their first electric utility company. Why did they say things twice? You don't have to say the same sentence twice. It's just a complete waste of time. BlackRock is buying one based out of Minnesota for a little over $6 billion. They provide services to around 100,000 people. Blackstone is buying a utility company in New Mexico for just over $11 billion. Why is private equity starting to get into electric companies? Well, let me tell you. PSEG, which is an electric company out of New Jersey, just reported its first quarters of 2025 to be up 47% over last year. They claim that 90% of this energy usage is from AI and data centers. Okay.
So private equity firms BlackRock and Blackstone are both in the process of acquiring their first electric utility companies. BlackRock is buying one based out of Minnesota for a little over $6 billion, and they provide services to right around 100,000 people. Blackstone is buying a utility company in New Mexico for just over $11 billion. And why is private equity starting to get into electricity companies? Well, let me share a little insight with you. PSEG, which is an electric company out of New Jersey, just reported its first quarters of 2025 to be up 47% over last year. They claim that 90% of this energy usage is from AI and data centers. Let that sink in, people. Your energy bills are going to go through the roof.
And here I'm reading that Blackstone announced its most recent acquisition in the energy sector, agreeing to buy Shermco, a leading North American electrical services provider, $1.6 billion from Griffin investors. Shermco, headquartered in Texas, operates over 40 locations and provides critical electrical testing, maintenance, and repair services. They acquired Shermco, TXNM Energy, Potomac Energy. Okay. From Reuters, Blackstone bets on soaring power demand with 11.5 billion TXNM energy deal. This is from May. Driven by mounting energy needs of AI and cryptocurrency data centers, as well as increased residential and commercial consumption, more companies are we need more energy. More energy. Well, that's kind of funny though, because see the problem with that? The AI and the data centers are consuming so much energy that the grids are going down, making it impossible to actually use the services that they're using so much energy on, right? This cryptocurrency is sure is sucking up a lot of energy, but if the power goes out, when then nobody has any cryptocurrency anymore, make it make sense, y'all. 13 employees walk away from Palantir and say this. Palantir is increasingly complicit, normalizing authoritarianism under the guise of revolution led by oligarchs. We must resist this trend. Another warning from the AI cave of doom. Let's see if we can find this article. Come on. Just take me to the website, my God. It's not that hard. Thank you. 13 former employees of influential data mining company Palantir are condemning the company's work with the Trump administration weeks after Immigration and Customs Enforcement reached a deal to pay Palantir $30 million to provide the agency with near real-time visibility into the movements of migrants in the U.S. Near real-time visibility? In a letter shared exclusively with NPR, the ex-Palantir workers, former software engineers, managers, and employees who work with the firm's privacy and civil liberties team say when they joined the powerful tech company, they believed in its code of conduct. We thought they were the good guys, stating that its software should protect the vulnerable, oh my God, and ensure the responsible development of artificial intelligence. I mean, it should. I know. I'm being very public pays for transmission lines. Yeah. Kate says conserve water because the frackers need clean water to extract the resources from the commons to sell them back to you. Yes. Exactly. Anyways, I mean, yeah, you should believe in a code of conduct. You should. Production of energy needs more consumption. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what they're. Now that is a snake eating its tail, or a Ouroboros, right? AI energy use is a Ouroboros because it's sucking up so much energy in order to actually function that it might outstrip its ability to function if there's not enough energy. Anyways, they're disturbed about the ethics and what's going on, and oh my God. And they should be, as they should be, as they should be. But they also should know that the point of Palantir has never been anything ethical. Obviously, the point of AI has never been anything ethical. I don't think so. I mean, maybe some people think that it's, it could save mankind. I mean, maybe. But who is designing it? Who is deploying it? Who is buying it? Right? Who's insisting that it goes forward without a lot of guardrails and without proper, time to fully, investigate like how it's going to be deployed and how it's going to be safely deployed and how it's going to have, right? Like, no, it's the same with anything else. They just push it out as quickly as possible and let the let the consequences be damned, just I guess we'll deal with it later. But I just said this yesterday, for years everything is, people have been like, I don't know, AI could destroy the human race. I don't know, AI sure could be dangerous, right? They keep saying stuff like this, and then but they're like, how about some AI as quickly as possible? Let's roll it out right away, straight away. And people are already having like psychological breakdowns because of AI, and people are already having, right? They're already pointing at cognitive decline, and all kinds of problems, job loss, et cetera, right? Like, it's being used in nefarious ways, not in, heal the world kind of ways. Timothy says they're at least 10 years beyond what we know. Probably, I'm sure. I don't doubt that. Which is scary because what do they have? What do they got in the pipeline? What is in the pipeline? What's coming down the road? The mind is visual and people will be able to expose their power. Okay. But they're already, AI is being used in all kinds of military applications, and now it's being injected into federal agencies hand over fist. But don't worry, guys, it's all going to work out fine. It's all going to be just fine. If you like the show, if you want to support the show, if you like the show being free, coming to you free Monday through Friday, there are lots of ways to support the show. In the description box of whatever platform you're watching on, there's also a link tree on X if you're watching on X. All the usual avenues are there. PayPal, Cash App, Zelle. By the way, Black Mirror is a documentary. Yep. A friend of mine had got kicked off of YouTube, and it wasn't even really talking about too crazy stuff. He's into like AI and hallucinogenic, spiritual, exploratory type stuff. I don't know. Anyways, just in passing, another friend of mine had their YouTube channel completely deleted, and he wasn't really saying anything like really super controversial. And that made me go like, huh. And yet my channel is still on YouTube. I'm not wishing for doom, but I am working on some alternatives, or I might be just forced into some alternatives, but oh, thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Yeah. What else is going on? We're having a heat wave. Yeah, environmental coffee house got schnooker popped, as I like to say. Let's see. Anyone can imagine the negative effects of AI sci-fi, but placed in the hands of the common person. Well, I have some. I have a friend who thinks it's the best thing since sliced bread, and I follow somebody I follow who is like an AI, who's a programmer, is says, hey, like there are problems, there are issues, but with the wrong people trying to be behind what's going on, but used in the correct way, or used in a open source decentralized way, it can really change how people do everything. So I don't know. I'm a Luddite. Dang it. Who I appreciate the power of technology. I really do. But I'm also have a healthy skepticism and fear of it. Let's see. Don't want that. I was trying to show you what my skies look like in the last 2 days. Remember I was telling you that I wasn't seeing a lot of fake clouds lately? And all of a sudden there's a heat wave this week, and all of a sudden there's just they are going ham on the clouds. And I have some evidence. Why won't you give me brave? Give me brave. I want brave. Thank you. No, just open it. Oh, why won't you let me do it? That's annoying. Maybe I can put. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to do this, guys. Sorry. Why won't you let me? Okay, let me see if I can do it another way. That's annoying. What's that beep? Who is beeping? Hold on, guys. Here started our parties. Okay. Oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. What other way can I do this? Sure. Oh, what other way is this possible, y'all? Can I? Let's see. Nope. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to do it. All right, sorry guys. Sorry for the. Maybe I just upload one of these pictures, if they even let me. Hello. Image file. Here we go. You guys cool with me just tweaking out here while I'm doing a show? Sorry. I am determined. Yes. All right. We're going to do it again. Do it again. Here we go. Can y'all? It's too big. It might be too big. I don't know. They're not going to let me do all this. My hair is determined? Okay. How is my hair determined? You're okay with me just tweaking out? Okay. All right. That wasn't going to work. I don't know. I'm going to have to bring these back tomorrow, but it's wild. I mean, there's some insane, like, not real clouds out there going on. They went crazy. Absolutely crazy. Did I post photos on X? No, I didn't. But maybe I'll put them up in Telegram, or maybe I'll put them on X. Maybe that's a way to do it. Hold on. Let me see if I can. They're just making it like extra hard for me to do this. Failed to load. I think it's just too big. My files are too big. That's what she said. Sorry. I'll put them up. I'll put them up later today, or maybe I'll show them to you tomorrow. Okay. I'm not going to get it done. I'm not going to get it done. It's not going to happen today. I've just completely pissed myself off now. In ICE news, this is pretty. I always like to show people backing ICE down. No, they're not just brave men and women doing their job. No, they're not. No, not. They're Gestapo thug knuckleheads that are doing illegal things for money, which is disgusting.
Good morning. Excuse me, do you guys have a warrant signed? Could you show me it, please?
Who are you? Get out of here. Why would I show you my warrant?
I'm part of a community protection group.
Maybe you can help. Maybe you can help us.
All right.
And maybe you can help
Just you're coming into my community. I want to make sure you're here for the right
maybe you can
reasons.
help me because we're looking for somebody.
Who are you looking for?
No, I'm looking for somebody. Do I have a warrant?
Okay, could I see your warrant? Is it
I'm
signed
not
by
here
a
to arrest
judge?
you. Why would I show you my warrant?
Well,
Am I here to arrest you?
these are one of my neighbors, so I just want to
your
make
neighbors.
sure.
Which one? You know his name?
Do you have his name or
I
their
do.
name?
I
What
do.
is their name?
Thank you, sir. Go ahead. I got it.
What is the do you have a warrant
Sir,
signed
you
by a
understand.
judge? Do you have a warrant signed by a judge?
You understand? I don't need
You're
to
coming
share.
into my city. What's your badge number, sir? Do you have a badge number? Can you identify yourself, please? Don't open the door. Look at these cowards. La migra. ICE. Do not open the door. You should be ashamed. Get out of my community. How about that? Cowards. Can't even show your face, huh? Come on down. Come talk to me. You're coming into my city? Why don't you come down and talk to me? Do you guys have badge numbers that you could reveal? Can you identify yourself, please?
I'm ICE. Immigration Customs Enforcement.
Okay.
That's all I am.
Okay, don't
That's
get-
all I am.
So where are you guys coming from?
You don't have business with me. Get out of here, sir.
You're coming into my city,
I
y'all,
apologize.
to arrest people like the Gestapo. You guys are like the Gestapo. These people didn't do anything wrong. So why are you here? Why are you covering your face? Why are you covering your face? Why don't you take your mask
Because
down?
they're cowards.
We're gonna get this on the internet. Your family is gonna be ashamed of you when they learn what you're doing.
Step away from my car, man.
I'm moving back.
Okay. Okay. ICE agents start a fire at a Portland protest, shoot at people when they rush to put it out. That's crazy. What the heck is going on? Group of protesters held vigil all day and night for weeks now outside of the ICE facility located in Portland, Oregon. They shoot less lethal bullets at people dousing the fire with water. What the heck? How do oh my god. Sorry guys.
I'm literally getting hit right now.
And lastly, Chris Smalls. You remember Chris Smalls, who was unionizing Amazon workers in New York. I had a hard time understanding what was going on in that video too. Kashama Sawant reposting this. Brother Chris Smalls is absolutely right. It is bipartisan genocide. Progressive Democrats are going to neither end the genocide nor help the American working class struggling to keep their head above water. I think if you don't understand that by now, I don't know where you've been living or, if you're even alive. But, after the last 12 years of, oh, sorry, we were just kidding, from the Democratic Party, like, oh, no, who's going to pay for it? I don't know. Oh, did we really say that? Oh, no, I don't know. If you're still believing it, shame on you. Progressive Democrats are going to neither end the genocide nor help the American working class struggling to keep their head above water. AOC and Bernie Sanders are part of the problem, along with most of the later labor leadership. Their job on behalf of the bosses is to tell working people we have no choice but to support the Democratic Party. Again, going back to yesterday and the post I was reading, about the continuation forever and ever of like, well, this time Democrats are going to take back Congress and do nothing again. Like, that's not helpful. Support the Democratic Party regardless of how badly that party has sold us out, and no matter whether it's funding a genocide. Both AOC and Sanders have completely refused to fight for any of the demands that ran on. The federal minimum wage is still $7.25 an hour. They've acted as gatekeepers against any movement to win Medicare for all, even though it's hugely popular. Both the Democratic and Republican parties serve the war profiteering billionaire class. Working people need to dump both and build a new party of our own. Thank you, Kashama. As Chris says, that's the bottom line. That's why I'm running as an independent socialist against the genocidal Democrat, Adam Smith. Help us defeat Adam Smith and elect the first revolutionary socialist to the U.S. Congress as a step towards building a new party for the working class. I'm fighting to end all U.S. military funding to Israel and to end the brutal occupation. Chris Smalls laying it out, the ridiculousness of Bernie Sanders and AOC.
Unless they were living under a rock, you can't tell me that they didn't catch wind of what was going on. So what really surprised me that more people are not calling them out for their BS. And I'll just say bullshit. Bernie and AOC in particular, they've been traveling the country with this fake-ass white oligarchy tour. And when they're doing this tour, they're telling the crowd that Israel has a right to defend itself. That's what they're doing. So, right. So, am I surprised that they didn't speak up? Yeah. But at the same time, they're showing their true colors right to y'all. They're not my senators. They're not my elected officials. And I can tell you who mine is. Who's another POS? Cory Booker. I'm from New Jersey, so the list goes on and on. All of these politicians. It's a bipartisan genocide. We know that. We got to escape the two-party system. That's the bottom line. Unless they were living under a rock, you can't tell me that they didn't catch wind of what was going on.
What hopefully people are hearing. I'm hoping that people hear it. Hear that it's a duopoly. We need something different. You can't, voting for either one of these corrupted and co-opted owned parties is not going to help anyone. And so we need, a different party, a different idea, different ways to go around, who is controlling the reins of power at the moment. In a turd way bubble. I like that. That's pretty good. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Appreciate y'all. Please like up the video and all that kind of good stuff. Don't know if I have any other supporters to thank today. Damn there. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. At the same time, same bat time, 12 p.m. Pacific. Thanks, everyone. Beware the bear.